Okay, can you state your whole name?
Yeah. So my name is Kamahiwa. Kalevehi o Nalani Kuikla Iakea o Kahalawai Kawa.
And so I'm gonna be asking you 5 questions about erosion here on Maui. Have you or someone you know personally experienced erosion on your slash their property?
Um, Not somebody I know personally, but a lot of the places that I personally grew up on, like playing beach, having beach days on and stuff like that, I've seen the effects of erosion. So on the west side of the island, you have to drive along the ocean to get to the west side of the island. And as you're driving, you can see over the years how far up the shoreline has come to the road. And you've seen the barriers that they've put up, especially down where the hotels are in Ka'anapali and stuff like that. The beaches are a lot smaller than they used to be when we were younger. When we were younger, the beach was huge. Everybody could play on the beach, but now you can see it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Okay, next question. If you could give one reason on why people should care about erosion, what would it be?
Hmm. One reason that I think people should care about erosion is because it affects everybody. Right now, it's specifically affecting us who live on islands like this because our islands aren't very big and we don't really have anywhere else to go. So I know that there's other islands in the South Pacific that are at much worse stages of erosion than we are. Some islands are practically almost completely underwater. So we still have some time to try and fix it and try to um, work against it. And so I think everybody should care about it because it affects all of us eventually.
And when it comes to erosion and climate change, what is being hit harder and faster than many other places? What would you say is the worst climate change that you've seen?
Hmm. Um, I work a lot in the mountains and stuff. I go up to the mountains a lot. And in the mountains, in our Kuahivi, we have a lot of native plants, native species, native birds, native animals, all kinds of stuff up there. And with climate change, one of the things that comes with that is mosquitoes. Mosquitoes start to go higher and higher up into the mountain because it's warmer and warmer up there. And so what happens is they go up there and they start to kill off the native birds and other things like cats and things like that. Things that typically wouldn't be up in the mountains before are now making their way up there. And so I think that's the biggest effect that I see with climate change.
And because you said that it takes away native plants, does some of the native plants up there, like, try and like slow the erosion up that's going on up there? Like, if that happens?
On the west side of the island,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's I talked about this earlier with another group, but there's two specific plants that help a lot with erosion, and that's pohuehue and naupaka. So the pohuehue plant is like a vine. Um, it's actually right here. It grows on a vine and it kind of grows down like this. And if you're driving in Kihei on South Kihei Road, which is the road closest to the ocean, you'll see that there's a bunch of sand dunes that have barriers and stuff around them because they've been turned into preserves to try and protect the sand dunes to make the beaches strong again. So they have naupaka and pohuehue growing all along over there to help with that.
And um, I know that since you live in Hawaii, you probably have like some kind of farming that you guys do around. So does erosion affect the way you guys farm?
Not for my family. Where we live is kind of farther up away from the ocean, in between, not too far up the mountains, not too close to the ocean. And we do more so, we grow like native plants and stuff to make leis and things like that. So it's not affecting us right now, but like I said, eventually it probably will.
And then last question: over time, have you noticed like any like, well, like you said, drastic changes with erosion on Maui?
Yeah, like I said earlier, the most drastic change that you can see is if you've grown up here and you are Kama'aina, you're used to going around to these beaches and driving these roads, you can see the difference of how far up the shoreline has come. And it's kind of scary because uh, you don't notice it immediately. It's after 5, 10 years of driving, and you're like, oh, that those waves never used to come onto the road, and now they are. And so it's kind of a scary, eerie feeling to know that it's something that's back there that's slowly creeping up on us. But we have to take, I think, a bigger stance on erosion and climate change and figure out what we can do about it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.